Hello everyone, it's Eddie the Magic Monk. I'm going to teach you guys how to multiply numbers now before I go to sleep tonight. So here's how you do it. If you have something simple like 9 times 7, then you can just write the answer out vertically as 63. Make sure you get the columns correct. So this is the ones, and the second column is the tens, and so on. Let's try another one. 5 times 7 is 35, right? So now let's try a double digit one, which is where it becomes tricky and people sometimes forget how to do it. Or why we do it. So let's try 15 times 7. Now you still look at one column at a time, okay? But the funny thing is, well, I'll just show you. So you put 7 times 5. Now the answer is 35. Now instead of writing the 3 here like we do in adding, we actually just write 35 down here, like that. And then we do 7 times 1. So we actually go 7 times the number above it, write the answer down. So 7 times 5 is 35. And then we actually go 7 times the 1. Now 7 times 1 is 7, but I actually write the answer down here. I actually start in the second column. Okay, and the reason for that is because when I do 7 times 1, I'm actually doing 7 times 10. Right, because if you guys remember, the second column is the tens digit. So I'm actually going 7 times 10, which is 70. That's why I write the 7 here, because 70, it's going to be a 0 in the first column, in the ones digit. So the answer is, now I'm going to add these two numbers. So 35 plus 7 is going to be 5 plus 0 is 5, 3 plus 7 is 10, 105. So let me explain this part here again. So I'm going 15 times 7. Now, that's actually the same as 5 times 7 plus 10 times 7, isn't it? Right? Because the 15 can be broken up into 5 and 10. So if we're multiplying 15 by 7, what we're doing is 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15 7 times, right? That's what 15 times 7 is. 15 7 times, right? Now that's the same as so this whole thing here equals 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus, so that's the 5 times 7. Now, each 15 is made up of 5 and 10, so I'm just going to put 10 as well in there. Plus 10, plus 10. Oh, it's sort of hard to squeeze it in. So, that's why 15 times 7 is the same as 5 times 7, which is these numbers here, plus 10 times 7, which are these numbers here. Alright, so the 5 times 7 is basically what we write in the first row, and then the 10 times 7 is what we write in the second row, and then we add these two numbers together, so that's the 35 plus the 70, and that gives us 105. So that's the reason behind the algorithm. Let's try another one. Let's do 20 times 6. So again, you would do 6 times 0, Oh, 6 times 0, that's boring. Let's do 23 times 6. So again, you do 6 times 3 is 18. And then you go 6 times 2 is 12. Now, you would actually write the 12 starting in the second column, right? You're going 6 times 2 is 12, and you would write it like that. And the reason is because what you're actually doing is 20 times 6. When you're going 6 times 2 and you write 12, you're actually going 20 times 6 is 120, and you're actually writing 120. But it's sort of quicker if you don't have to worry about the 0. So that's why you go 6 times 2 is 12, and then you add up the numbers. So you go 18, so 8 plus 0 is 8, 1 plus 2 is 3, and so the answer is 138. Let's do another one so you're familiar with it. 43 times, actually I had a 0 here, didn't I? And I changed it, so let's just do a 0 times 5. So 5 times 0 is 0, so let's just forget that. 5 times 4 is 20, so I might as well, I usually would write that here and then you add them together. But in this case, it's easier to just go 5 times 4 is 20, so it's 200. Okay, let's try a few more. Let's try 47 times 7. So 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 4 is 28. Add them together. And then we got 9. 4 plus 8 is 12. 2 plus 1 is 3. 329. Okay, another one. 27 by 4. So 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 2 is 8. And the answer is 108. Okay, let's try a bigger one. Let's try 117 times 9. So you go 9 times 7 is 63. Now you got 9 times 1 is 9, but you write that in the second column because we're now dealing with the tens. We're actually going 10 times 9, which is 90. Alright, so you can just put 90. 9 times 1 is 9, but it's actually 900. So now let's add all this together. We got 3, we got 6 plus 9 is 15, and we got 9 plus 1 is 10, so it's 1053. Okay, now what do we need to teach you guys? 2 digits times 2 digits. So let's do 12. Let's do 23 times 44. 45. Okay, so now you have 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, now what is going on here? Now we have a 4 in the tens digit. Now, what you do is you actually, let's just abbreviate it a little bit so you can get it a bit easier. So the 15 plus 10 is actually 115, so you can actually just write 115 like this. Alright, so now we got 4 times 3 is 12. So basically we're done with the 5, right? We've already done 23 times 5, and the answer is here. So let's forget the 5 exists, and let's just do the 4 times the 23, whereas it's actually 40 times the 23. So 4 times 3 is 12, so let's write that down. 4 times 2 is 8, let's write that down. So it's actually 1 plus 8 is 9, so you can actually just write 92 here. So then we can add them together. So it's 5, 1 plus 2 is 3, 1 plus 9 is 10. So you might think, what just happened? What did I just do? Well, 23 times 45. Okay, that is the same as 23 times 5 plus 23 times 40, isn't it? Right, because if you think about it, 23 times 45 means 23 plus 23 plus 23 plus 23 dot 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 45 times. Now that's the same thing as 23 times 5, which is the first 5 of these, plus the next 40 of these. The next 40 of them. So that's why you can break it up like that. Alright, that's why you can break it up. So what we've done is we have done the 23 times 5. We've written the answer down here. We've done the 23 times 40. We've written the answer down here, which is put a 0 in the missing place. And now we can add them together, which is the addition here. We added them together. So let's try another one. Let's try another one. Let's do 20. Why am I doing 20s? 35 times 54. So what you would do is you go 4 times 5. Let's take care of the first digit. So 35 times 4. Let's take care of that. So 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 3 is 12. Let's add these two together is 1, which is 140. So you can just replace that as 140. Alright, that's 140. So that's done. So this part here is now done. Let's do 35 times 50. So 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 3 is 15. So this part here is the same as 175. So I'm going to add them together to 175. And obviously you need to put a 0 in the missing place. So now the answer is 0981. Okay, it might be... It's probably becoming a little bit complicated, so I'll just do that one in a quicker way so you can see it. Let's just change the numbers a little bit. 28 times 72. So what I'm doing is I'm going 2 times 8 is 16. Now I'm keeping track of the 1 in 16. I'm just going to write 6 here. And you can put a little 1 here to remind you if you forget that you have to carry the 1 over. So instead of writing the 1 down, I'm putting the 1 over here. Now I got 2 times 2 is 4, which I would normally write here, but I'm just going to add the 4 to the 1 mentally, so I'm going to write 5. So 28 times 2 is 56. Now I have, similarly I'm going to do it on the second digit. So 7 times 8 is 56, so I'm going to put a little 5 here. I'm going to put 6 down here. Now I got 7 times 2. Ignore the 1 because that was from the previous multiplication. So 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 5 is 19. So I'm going to write it down like that. And then put a 0 in the missing place. Add them together. 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. 9 plus 1 is 10. 1 plus 1 is 2. So that's the answer there. Okay, I hope I haven't confused you guys by doing it the short way, because if you really wanted to, you can do it the long way as well. Let's just do a crazy one. Let's just do 173 times 89. So I'll go 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 7 is 63. 63 plus the 2 is 65. 9 times 1 is 1. 1 plus 6 is... Sorry, 9 times 1 is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. Okay, so now forget these. Okay, let's do 8 times 3 is 24. Just put a little 2 there, 24. 8 times 7 is 56. So 56 plus 2 is 58. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. So now I can add these numbers together. So it's 7 plus 0 is 7. 5 plus 4 is 9. 8 plus 5 is 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 15397. Alright, let's just check in the calculator to see I haven't made a mistake. No, I haven't. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys some practice ones so you can have a go at it. So the third one's probably a bit harder, but the rest should be alright. So have a go at it, come back when you're done. So 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Add them together, 5, 6, 2, 1. Okay, 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. 9 times 1 is 9. 0 times 2 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. Why did I just do that? 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 1 is 4. Add them all together. 8, 1, 9 plus 8 is 17. 1, 4. 41718. Check them in your calculator. Okay, actually, I'll just check it for you. I'll just check it for you so you don't have to check it. Let me just bring it over. Okay, the cool thing about Google is you can actually just Google it, right? You can just Google 102 times 409. It tells you the answer. 41718. 55 times 23. Alright, 1265. So yeah, the answer's right. Hope you guys have fun with it. Okay, I'm gonna leave multiplying decimal numbers in the next tutorial because yeah, I'm a bit tired. Okay, thanks for watching guys. See you next time.